Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 120. So, what do you think about this week's chapter? I personally love this chapter. I think this chapter 100% illustrated why Fujimoto to me is currently the GOAT when it comes to the current new gen of shonen authors, as well as one of the best writers in the industry currently as well, because when it comes to his writing, he's been consistently, one-upping himself, and this chapter was no difference. And before we get into this week's chapter, I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all Chainsaw Man content going forward. And I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. So if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel to be up to date. Now, with that being said, let's get into this week's chapter. Now, this week's chapter starts where we left off last time, and pretty much we saw that, Yoru got stabbed with a chain and because of Nayuta, and we see the repercussions of that. And what we find out is that the chain pretty much controlled Yoru and made her become, quote unquote, a dog. And what I mean by that is that she mentally thinks she's a dog, so she starts acting like a dog. She gets in all fours, she barks, and Nayuta, being the little punk that she is, she starts laughing, and she's just like enjoying all of this. It's like, yeah, that's right, that's what you get for taking my stuff. To her, she feels like Denji belongs to her and only her. So it's just what I got from it. It was like, she is very attached to Denji, and she doesn't want anybody to push her away from Denji, and she's very jealous, a very jealous type. And we saw what happens when you mess with her Denji, and what we see is that Yoru's acting like a dog, and Denji's like, hey, turn her back right now, like this is unacceptable, like this is, you gone far enough, Nayuta, that's not cool, turn her back. And Nayuta's like, nah, I don't think I will. And then she's like, no, turn her back, dude, come on. And then she's like, I can't right now because you see I'm actually hungry, so I really can't. And then she's like, all right, will you turn her back after I feed you? And she's like, sure, I guess. So pretty much what happens is, they eat, and Nayuta makes one of the sickest burns. And one of the things that we, the entire fandom, have been saying about Denji throughout the entirety of the series, which is pretty much she looks at Denji and straight up says, like, why do you even like her so much? Like, don't you understand that every girl that's, try to get at you has eventually tried to kill you? Like, so it's like, yes, finally someone told him, somebody looked him in the eye and said, hey, listen, Denji, every girl that's ever crossed your path that you thought that, you guys had a thing, she's tried to kill you at one point. That was completely hilarious because she's 100% right. Riz, Makima, you look down the track record, and you see that all these girls that Denji, has tried to get at have eventually tried to kill him. So that's hilarious. And finally, someone, enlightened Denji. So continuing that, we see that Nayuta, she tells Denji, like, okay, I'll, make sure that she stops. I'll put her back to her memories and all that. I'll make her be, how she was before. 2 conditions. Number 1, make sure that I get ice cream every day. I get to eat ice cream at least once every day. And then she's like, all right, that's fine enough. As long as I get to eat some too, I don't care. So pretty simple, right? And then number 2, she says, okay, yeah, no. I'm gonna erase all her memories, so she'll never remember any of this that happened today. So she'll think you stood her up. And then she's like, what the man, that's not cool. Like, me and her were bonding, like we were just getting along, like why are you doing this? And she's like, you belong to me. She's trying to take away my property. She put spit in my property, like, because obviously Yoru and Denji were kissing and whatnot. So she's very jealous, and as we know, she is the control devil after all. So there might be a little bit of her nature that's trying to keep control of Denji, as well as, just her attachment to him. She, like I said, she might feel threatened that a new girl's walking into Denji's life, and she might feel like, what, he might take Denji away from me. And she gets very defensive, as we see in this chapter, because she tells Denji, like, listen, you gotta do this or else I won't turn her back. And Denji's like, come on, dude. And she's like, please, no, you come on, do it. And she's like, you have to do it, promise, you have to do it. It's like, Denji's like, all right, you do. And then, because Nayuta gives him this very, like childish look, where I'm sure if you're a parent, you know what look it is. It's the look where your kid looks at you and they want something, like a spoiled brat kind of look, like the little like, like, come on, do it. And Denji succumbs to it, and he's like, you know what, all right, when it comes to you, you're first, Nayuta. You're my #1 priority. And then Nayuta's like, yeah, like that rocks. So continuing that, we see the repercussions of Nayuta brainwashing Yoru to remember only that Denji stood her up. So what you see is that Asa is actually waiting for Denji because they were supposed to meet up, and surprise, Denji doesn't show up because he agreed to the terms. Like Nayuta is like, okay, I'll make sure that me and her won't get together, because even though I like her, I was getting feelings for her, like. And we see Asa just kind of sad, and we also see that Yoru's like, listen, like, I guess he stood you up, this sucks. That's crazy. I really thought he liked you, but I guess he didn't like you after all. And then Asa goes in the biggest copium rant I've ever seen. She goes in a whole 3-panel breaking down, like, you know what, it's all right, like, it's okay, I don't want to date anyway, it costs too much money, and you know what, I actually have to do homework, and you know what, good thing that he didn't come, because I was just trying to save his life. And honestly, when it came to the aquarium, the only reason I felt like that is because there was the opposite sex, and like me and him, my hormones kicked in. And she just goes in this entire copium saying like, oh yeah, pretty much I don't have feelings for him, don't believe, it's whatever, like, he's whatever, I'm over it. Like, big copium. She like just sniffed a big gallon of copium with that. Like, this was hilarious. I thought this was typical Asa behavior with her whole, she likes to go on these rants, and they're always funny because she's just trying to play it cool, but obviously she's lying through her teeth. So I thought that was hilarious. But then after that, we see that Asa, she's walking, it seems like she's gonna go home, and she's walking alone, and you can tell she's down. Like, she feels terrible of what happened. Maybe she doesn't say it, but we can all tell, like, yeah, she feels terrible for being quote unquote stood up, even though it didn't happen. But to her, she believes that she got stood up. So after that, we see pretty much that Asa bumps into somebody, and that somebody is Yoshida. Now Yoshida just like, hey, what are you doing? And Asa's like, what do you mean? Like, it's like, I'm just nothing. It's like, no, I mean, like, what are you doing though? Yoshida just says kind of like, like, is everything okay? Like, come on, what's up? And then she's like, nothing really, why? And he's like, you know what, do you want to keep me company? And that's how the chapter ends, pretty much. Yoshida kind of coming in, slithering his way on Randy Orton type, slithering away into, Asa. And I'm wondering if this is the love triangle that obviously the name of the chapter was called Triangle. Was this, insinuating this of the Yoshida, Denji, Asa love triangle that's about to go down? Or was it insinuating the, Nayuta and Asa and Denji? It's just a big cluster of things happening, and I'm loving, man. This is great. It's high school drama about to go down, and I love it. I think it's hilarious, and I can't wait to see what's to come in the future, because I'm guarantee you that the next time Denji and Asa see each other, it's gonna be completely awkward. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like, she genuinely starts to resent Denji because, like, she feels that she got played. Now, one thing to mention is I find it very sus that Yoshida just shows up out of nowhere. Like, what? Not just that, but remember also Yoshida, the last time we saw him, he was looking at Fami, and they had this like very back and forward stare with each other. So I don't know if definitely Yoshida's up to something, because this dude just showed us up out of nowhere. Like, yeah, it's too good to be true. Like, he's just gonna be the white shining armor in Asa's life. Like, no, he's up to something, and I'm putting my bets right now that this dude is either trying to get to the like to the bottom of like the 4 apocalypse, like the 4 horsemen, either trying to track them down, or he's trying to do something. Like, we know that he's like in Denji's side, quote unquote, but what is his intentions? What is his end goal? We don't know, and I'm pretty sure that we won't find out for a long time. But I just find it very fascinating. Like, right now, off the bat, I'll just say Yoshida, mad sus. With that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and that you guys spend it with your loved ones and have a good Valentine's Day. Bye bye.